Hi, I'm Kiara Smith-Sneyman, and today I'm going to show you how to bake the famous Charms rusks. The first very important step before we begin is to set your oven to 150 degrees Celsius. Why? Because it's to make sure that your rusks rise properly. Okay, now we begin. The next ingredients that you need is 750 milliliter of All Bran, 750 milliliter of Nutty Crunch muesli, 500 milliliter mixture of any of the following: raisins, almonds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, or cranberry. I personally don't like raisins, so I chose pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and linseed. 1 kilogram of self-raising flour, 250 milliliter sugar, 500 milliliter milk, 500 gram butter, 2 eggs, 5 milliliters of salt, and 10 milliliters of baking powder. So now we're going to begin the actual method of mixing all the ingredients together. Firstly, you should start off with your dry ingredients, like your flour, your sugar, your mix of seeds, your muesli, the All Bran, and your sugar with baking powder. I'm going to start off with the flour. Should add 1 kilogram of it, and this is 1 kilogram in the packet. Alright. Then should add your 250 milliliters of sugar. Alright, after that's done, get your mixture of seeds with, just sift it a bit. There you go. Then you add your muesli, look like that. And lastly, your All Bran. Before we add the baking powder and salt, you should always mix it first, thoroughly. Alright. Now this is important when you add the baking powder and salt, so when you add your baking powder and your salt, you should make sure that it is spread over. Then you should mix again. So next up, you first have to melt your butter with your milk, but make sure that it's not too hot. Then after that, you can add your 2 eggs with it. After that's done, take a whisk and mix it. Now before you add the liquid to your dry ingredients, you should first make a deep, big hole in the middle of it. Then you add your butter and milk to the dry mixture. Then you can add the rest of your mixture. Alright, so after you've mixed all your dry and wet ingredients, first make sure that all the dry ingredients are mixed well with the rest, so nothing is left behind, like this. Then you take your bowl and you just scoop everything out into your pan. Spread it evenly out into your pan. Let it go all in the corners and the edges, just nice and even. After you've spread your mixture evenly through the pan, you can take your knife and cut lines evenly through your mixture. Make sure that you don't make your rusks too big, because they will rise and grow larger in the oven. After you cut your rusk blocks, you can place it in the oven to bake for 1 hour. After you take the rusks out of the oven, take your knife and recut over the same cuts you've done before. Then take separate pieces and put them one by one on a separate pan. After you distributed each rusk into 2 separate pans, place them in the oven for another 4 hours at 70 degrees for them to dry out.